Hello, Lorenzo.
Yes. Is this President Barack Obama?
It is.
Wow. Thank you so much for the call. You know, it was 2 years ago to this day when you called me.
You know, I tell you what, whenever we need to make sure folks are voting in Florida, we want to make sure that we're talking to you.
Yeah, well,
because you've got a lot of listeners out there, and I want to make sure everybody understands how important it is to vote in this election.
Well, I know I do have a few minutes with you. We definitely want to urge everyone to go out and vote. And I want to tell you that your popularity is on an all-time high. I must say that because for Halloween, I dressed up as Bill Clinton, and that's because, you know, your mask was sold out. So you are at an all-time high when it comes to popularity. I just wanted to share that with you.
Well, I am glad that you didn't come by the White House to trick or treat, though, because they might have arrested you for impersonating the president.
Yeah, that is so right. That is so right. Well, I did put out a little poll on Facebook and asked a couple of questions because I was anticipating your call. And, you know, I definitely want to make sure I have the pulse of the people. And the question was, you know, if you had an opportunity to ask the president any questions, what would you ask him? And one of the more popular questions was that of jobs. What are you going to mean? We know that the Republicans have been running on that campaign, you know, where are the jobs and the deficit and all of that. But and reply to some of the questions I've received from my listeners, what would you have to say, the direction of the country, and what are you going to do about jobs over the next 2 years?
Look, first of all, people need to understand what we've done over the last 2 years. I mean, we inherited the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression.
Mm-hmm.
And the economy was shedding jobs at a rate of about 700,000 per month. We lost about 8 million jobs before our economic policies had a chance to be put into effect.
Right.
And now we're seeing job growth in the private sector for 9 months in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So we're making progress, but we've got to make a lot more. And one of the key things we want to do is to invest in our infrastructure, rebuilding roads and bridges, and rail lines and airports. All that can put people to work right now. The other thing we want to do is to make sure that we're financing small businesses. And we've already provided tax cuts to small businesses 16 times since I've been in office.
Mm-hmm.
Give them an opportunity to grow because in a lot of communities, small business growth, that's where the jobs are going to come from.
Right.
And so the third thing we want to do is to continue to prioritize education because, you know, those folks who have the best education are going to get the best jobs. And, you know, if you have only a high school education or you've dropped out of high school, you're much more likely to be unemployed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we've put so much emphasis in education, increasing funding, making sure that Pell Grants are available to young people. Now, the concern is that Republicans have some very different ideas. They want to cut back education spending by 20%.
If you ask me, it seems like their idea is just no to anything that you've proposed.
Well, and you know, we can't afford to be standing still when countries like China and Germany are moving forward. They're investing in education. They're investing in infrastructure. We've got to make sure that America remains number one, and that requires us investing in our people and in our future.
Definitely understood. If you're just checking in, we're talking to President Barack Obama. Definitely want to urge everyone to go out and vote tomorrow. Let your voice be heard. Now, what can we do? Because there have been a lot of accomplishments that you've done over the last 18 months that people don't know or are not aware of. And we can get into the particulars of the 3% and who controls the media and who disseminates information to people. But how do we get the good and the accomplishments out to the people when there's some negativity out here?
Well, I think people need to hear directly from me, and that's why I want to call into a show like yours. Everybody who's listening to the line right now, understand we've made enormous progress over the last 2 years, but we've got to make more progress, and I can only do it if you are voting. And look, in Florida, there are some key races. Alex Sink is terrific, and she's going to make a great governor. But she's only going to be governor if people turn out to vote.
Right.
Kendrick Meek can be a fine senator, but he's only going to win if people turn out to vote.
Good friend of the program.
We've got members of Congress like Ron Klein and Joe Garcia who are running for Congress. Those guys, they're supportive of our agenda. They want to move the country forward. They want to solve problems like the foreclosure crisis in Florida in an intelligent way that helps keep people in their homes. But they're not going to be able to do it unless people turn out and vote. So
right.
I am just hoping that everybody down in Florida and everybody in the Miami area, everybody is going out and telling your friends, telling your neighbors, that the president says There's as much at stake in this election as there was in 2008.
Right, right. Well, one more question before you go, because I know your time is limited. And once again, thank you so much for calling. And when everyone seems to, or when the Republicans are talking about the spending, and sometimes I sit back and I wonder, okay, there was a $700 billion bailout. However, I think when you got into office, you only got maybe $350 billion to work with. What happened to that other $350 billion? I'm just saying,
Well, the truth of the matter, the truth of the matter is what happened was that money was like a line of credit. It was available in case we needed it.
Right.
Not all of it got spent, and almost all of it that went to the banks has now been repaid. So
okay.
This is one of those examples where we took a program that was passed under the Bush administration.
Right.
We managed it effectively, and we have made sure that money that was given to the banks got paid back. And that's the kind of leadership that I think we want to continue, but we're not going to be able to continue it unless we've got strong support at the polls. So everybody who's listening, I need you guys to go out, go vote. If you have already voted, go talk to your friends and talk to your neighbors, but this is very important. This is a key election, and we've got to make sure people are focused on it.
Thank you so much. President Barack Obama, it's a pleasure talking to you, and we're definitely going to urge everyone to go out and vote tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care.